Welcome to it, guys. Marvel Future Fight. And yes, we have dawned upon the news that Stan Lee has passed on. And it just honestly got me thinking, guys. This man's childhood dream. I mean, how many of us have grown up sketching little superheroes on our sketchbooks or little monsters and trying to get them to fight one another? This man's childhood dream, or him and his partner, actually created an entire universe. Firstly, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Marvel Comic Universe. And all of this, I mean, goodness, these guys were so forward thinking. Honestly, I mean, Stan Lee, as much as a lot of people might kind of argue that they were a bit racist in terms of the superheroes being all Caucasian, I mean, come on, guys, come on. This guy was one of the only creatives, or him and his partner, they were one of the only creatives to actually, from wherever they were, and remember, the internet was not, in fact, we do not have an internet back then, you know what I mean? They used to draw up these things or create these things, and all the knowledge that they had to be knowledge that they themselves had in their minds, meaning that this should have been something, for example, that they could have read about. So it just also goes to show the level of intelligence, not only that, the level of creativity. Firstly, they created the Marvel Cosmic Universe before about all the millions of possibilities that are out there in space particularly. And then they created, remember Black Panther? They created Black Panther, something in Africa, Wakanda, and all of this. Like, all of that imagination, creativity, and wit put into such creations. These guys were futuristic. They were beyond their times. I mean, now, in order for Marvel to make one of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, they have to call in these specialists. They have to call in quantum physicists. They have to call in all these experts in order for them to kind of validate and put into reality all these things that the Marvel comic universe encompassed. Fuck, that is... man, there is a lot to think about. Like, to think how creative these guys were. Like, honestly, hands down, obviously, I love Stan Lee. I love what he created. I mean, for some of us, he created an escape. You know what I mean? If you had one of those awful childhoods, whether you were being bullied or whether you were not getting along with other kids, like, he gave you that escape. You know what I mean? Like, you were normalized within the Marvel comic universe. And yeah, man, fuck, that's irreplaceable. That goes beyond just the characters, him making billions of and rands of, okay, I'm not gonna say rands because that's my part of the world, billions of dollars in money, revenue, royalties, and so forth. You know what I mean? Ah. But yeah, guys, all of this, like, all of this would not be possible. Marvel Battle Lines, Marvel Strike Force, and all Academy. I think there's another game like that. These puzzle games. This man, or these men, plural, two of them, him and his co-creator, they are not only responsible, firstly, mentally, giving us that escape as young kids, that solace, but they are responsible for igniting imaginations from these comic books. A lot of other things have spiraled into creation. Not only that, right now, a Marvel in itself, the cinematic universe and so forth. I mean, can you imagine how much money net Marvel is making just from a Marvel associated game? So they enabled life, they enabled wealth from their creation, from what obviously might have seemed small for them right there. Sorry guys, I was actually going to jump into some gameplay, but yeah, man, like, so many things are happening in my mind right now, and it cannot be exaggerated, guys. I think for me also, it would have been a shame if I shared all this gameplay, but then I did not share how I feel or what impact someone like Stan Lee had in my simple life. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I am in, for example, I'm in South Africa right now, and he is like in America, obviously. may his soul rest in peace. But then he touched this life, and I know he touched a whole lot of other lives around the world. That's global impact, guys. That's, you cannot replace that for anything. And there was this beautiful quote that he said that, as much as, in fact, he said that he used to belittle himself, thinking that people are out there becoming lawyers and doctors, and you have like real authors writing these books, these encyclopedias of insight and knowledge. And for him, it felt kind of small, just drawing this book for just kids. You know what I mean? But the impact that he had was so much greater than what any leader out there in the world could have had, what any professional out there could have had. You know what I mean? Like, he provided so much for people, mentally, financially, just holistically, guys. Like, I could honestly go on all day, but I am not going to go on all day about this. I mean, it's incredible. I don't think he himself actually envisioned what the Marvel brand would be today. I just hope and pray that whoever has the rights now to whatever does not tarnish the image and the name that is Stan Lee. So for today, I've actually just logged in. I was not even going to post anything about it, but as a matter of paying my respects to Stan Lee, I mean, you can put together all the superlatives in the English dictionary, and it would still not describe the man that he was, the creativity that he embodied. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about the politics, guys. Yes, there will be naysayers, there will be critics, there will be professors of life that will bring out all sorts of things about Stan Lee, whether he was morally a good human being, whatnot. I don't care about that. He was an amazing guy. He lived his life to the fullest. I mean, he was so old, but then there was always a smile on his face. And even his characters, you could see in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that when this guy appears, you can see the energy is natural. It's not like this was something that was forced. He was just a natural. And man, I think these games should actually think, or these creatives should actually, I don't know, he should be an iconic character himself. Honestly, they should bring on like Stan Lee as a character. They should give him like omega level types of powers, of features and everything, not just in this game, in games all across. Like, they should, oh man, like, just in honor of him, guys. We will always remember him as the great Stan Lee, obviously, but just in honor of him, do something. But I have seen that the Marvel universe holistically, whether it's people that are involved in gaming, the CEOs, Bill Roseman, I mean, everyone has been tweeting all day, hashtag RIP Stan Lee. If you guys go and have a look at that hashtag, actually, it's like all over. Honestly, it's like all over. So the mutant special event quest, so there is an event quest going on right now, ends in 7 days. Maybe I should check my mail. That's a good idea. Maybe I should check my mail. Mutant and Proud, new events in progress. So this is all about the mutants. Oh yes, and there is actually a sneak peek, some reddish mask that glows blue. It has like a moon symbol on the forehead and the eyes are blue. That mask has been leaked or has been tweeted. It's everywhere actually. Reddit, Mobirum, it's everywhere. It is out there, and that is apparently a sneak peek to the next update. So it should be something along those lines. But yeah, man, like, for the time being, goodness, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, his life changed so many other lives, guys. I'm talking about, think about it holistically. I'm talking about Stan Lee, from his creativity. Firstly, let's just start with a company like Netmarble, for example, a lot of their revenue is coming from this game as well. The cleaners from these companies, the cleaners from Marvel, you know what I mean? These are people that provide for their families. The janitors, let me say that, from the janitors to people that offer catering, people that serve food, to people that do the plumbing in the buildings and so forth. If Marvel as an institution stands, it essentially stands on the foundation of Marvel Comics, which is this creation. All those people that are employed by Marvel, think about them. They must be like millions, including all these other associated games and merchandise and all these toys that have been built around this brand. Think about that. Now, those millions of people, remember, some people might have families of 7, some people might have families of 13. So those millions or billions of people or employees times about 13 or 7, let's say make 7 the average number. So they've influenced billions of lives times the amount of families in those breadwinners' lives. Think about that for a second. That's how much impact they have had. Like, that's changing lives, guys. That is changing lives. Show me any leader in the world that has actually touched people's lives to that extent. I'm not taking away from the great leaders that we have around the world, but I'm just saying, show me one leader that has made such a change and influence and impact in people's lives, doing what they enjoy, not abiding to politics, not abiding to being governed by policies and so forth, just simply doing what they love until the end of their days. Ask me what's leadership, ask me what's servant leadership. That is servant leadership. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I wish, like, everyone, especially content creators around Marvel associated games, around whether you have, for example, Cosmic Wonder. Those are guys that I also follow. These, if we don't say something, if we don't pay our respects, it will be doing an injustice to someone of Stan Lee's stature. And remember, Stan Lee, his stature, it was not a doctorate, a degree from a university, or it was not a political office in Senate or in Parliament. It was not a religious standing, whether he was a clergyman or he was a bishop of some church or he was a prophet or a pastor. It was not anything of material value, but all that value is in our hearts. That's where the biggest change is. He made a difference to us. He touched our lives, basically. So yeah, man, I'm just going to stop this rant. I hope everyone shares their sentiments. I hope everyone shares what Stan Lee has actually meant to them, to their lives, to their loved ones. There are kids right now that are finding solace from being bullied on these comic universes, these comic books, these movies, even, because that's where we are now. We might not read as much, but then people are exposed to a lot of video content. So yeah, man, like it's out there. Oh, fuck, man. I think the one thing that I loved is that Stan Lee was one of those people that was fortunate enough to be acknowledged while he was still alive. I think for me that's the big thing. People did not wait until he was dead to acknowledge him. People were always going on about Stan Lee, what a great person he is, what an incredible creator he is. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot. That is probably the epitome of creative innovation. I mean, you are inventing the cosmic universe 100 years before even digital technology can put that on film. Like, some of those technologies don't even exist. Yes, they are prototyping a few, like exoskeletons in terms of military intelligence and military equity, exoskeletons for example have an answer for Iron Man and so forth, but it is not quite Iron Man, it is not quite nanotechnology, it is not quite the bleeding edge armor. Get it? Like it's not quite there. But then these people had thought about it back then. They had already thought about it. They had already put this on paper. They were like, this is my dream, or wherever they must have dreamt about it, or wherever the inspiration might have come from. But they were like, yeah man, this is a character that I'm going to put down. It's in my mind, and there you go. Wow. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But yeah, man, that's it. Stan Lee, I think more. The reason I want people to share, I do not want people to dedicate in memory of Stan Lee. No, he was a man that celebrated his life until the end of his days. So we should just celebrate. Do what you do. Whatever you do in your life, whatever you enjoy, because he enjoyed what he did in his life, he was passionate about his life. If you are going to dedicate something to him, do it through what you enjoy most in life. Do it through what means tons to you. Commemorate him by paying tribute through what you love. It's as simple as that. Let us celebrate this guy's life. Let us not, okay, of course we're gonna mourn, like that's given, but let us celebrate his life. Let us do what he embodied in his own life, because he lived his life, guys. He lived his life. I was seeing some snippets on some of the articles that were posted. This guy was arriving in Harley Davidsons to award shows and to red carpet events. You know what I mean? Like he lived his life, plain and simple. What character is this? Oh, Daredevil. Forgot about him. But yes, he basically lived